Okay, so the $1,000,000 question, how much?
Long block minus the fuel and air, so it would be intake manifold, valve cover, exhaust manifold. The way the bed plate's designed, we really have to do the timing gear housing and the bell housing. Some sort of an oil pump's going to need done, so if it's with a dry sump oil pump and a pan and a billet crankshaft in it, long block would be about $75,000. This is Drew D&J Precision Machine. This is our executioner engine. This is the next evolution past our Enforcer long blocks. We started having failures with cast block down in the main web area that we just really couldn't improve on the Enforcer engine. So next step was to kind of just start from scratch. So we went to the drawing board, started designing this engine about 2 years ago. We started with a steel bed plate that helps hold the whole bottom end together. We use 6 bolt mains in the bottom, 5/8 threads in the block. So there's 42 studs that make up about 1 million pounds of clamp load between the steel bed plate and the block. Up from there, we really needed more structure and strength through the main web area. So we couldn't do that without kind of getting some structure and strength to the outside of the block. So we started with SolidWorks, stress testing the block and loading it top to bottom so we could determine where we could remove material, where we needed to add material, and ultimately come up with the strongest weight ratio of the block that we could. So that's how all the web design and everything is actually done on the side of the block. It's not all just for looks, it's all for function. After that, we started with the cylinder head. So we wanted to gain a lot of flow with the cylinder head without totally reinventing the wheel. We had some dual overhead cam stuff drawn up, but never did do anything with that just because I don't really feel like there's a market for that quite yet. But we ended up with something that is still a stock cross tube will fit, and they flow 395 CFM on the intake side. When we got to the exhaust side of the cylinder head, we just really weren't getting much improvements from where we were, and ended up learning that the way the valves or the way the ports were coming into each other and going out the same port in the cylinder head, it was very restrictive. So we split that up into a 12-port design. So each exhaust valve has its own port. That gave us the opportunity to gain another 100 CFM on the exhaust side. So it flows about 375 CFM on the exhaust side of the head. We actually ended up patenting that design. That led us into having to make our own exhaust manifold. It just kept snowballing from there. So we made our own exhaust manifold. Steed Speed actually kind of designed that process of that exhaust manifold. He was so busy that he didn't want to do it, didn't have time to do it. So he just decided to let us use the patent, and we designed the whole exhaust manifold and machined it in-house, basically using his patent for machining 2 halves of an exhaust manifold together and welding it together. The intake manifold took us a while. We had goals. We were looking to be about 100 pounds lighter than some of the competition with the assembly. So valve cover, intake manifold, everything. That only left us about 10 pounds to do this whole intake manifold. So this whole intake manifold weighs 10 pounds and will take 200 pounds of boost pressure. Took us a week in SolidWorks to just stress testing, twisting, changing designs, adjusting, until we came up with this setup for the plenum. All the ribs in the plenum is all for function, really just to get the thing as lightweight and still hold the pressure as we possibly could. We make our own connecting rods and our own pistons for this. Just about everything that you see here, the timing gear housing, everything was designed and manufactured in our facility, all from scratch. Go to the dyno next week, and we should have capabilities of pushing 3,000, 3,500 horsepower fairly easily. We're not really going to try to go past that right now because most of the customers can't use it anyway, and there's just no sense in putting everything through the extra stress at this point. So, anything else?
Where can they find you? Social media?
Oh, they can find us.
I want to buy some goodies.
Yeah. You can find us at dnjprecisionmachine.com. Sorry, that's www.djprecisionmachine.com, or you can Google D&J Precision Machine. We're on social media on Instagram and Facebook. Those accounts, Instagram is DJ Precision Machine, and Facebook is D&J Precision Machine. So you can find us in all those avenues. We do not just this, that we do anything for the Cummins engines from stock all the way to this level. So we can help you with valve covers, we can help you with connecting rods for your 1,000 horsepower truck, we can help you through getting the block strength that you need for your specific goals. It's not just about this. This is a very, very small part of what we do. The biggest thing that we do is dealing with everybody at any level that they are. We have lots of experiences with all those different levels for all those different customers, so we can help you get set up right the first time, save you lots of time and money in the long run.